आपको मौका देता है।
Welcome back. You're watching Newsx. We start with the top headlines of today.
होश खो देते हैं, लेकिन आपने जोश भी रखा, होश भी रखा और सूझबूझ के साथ दुश्मनों के ठिकानों को आपने बर्बाद किया।
Defense Minister Rajnath Singh arrives in Srinagar for a short visit during which he interacted with army personnel and officers. India provides evidence to UNSC 1267 Sanctions Committee to designate LET Proxy, the Resistance Front, as a terrorist organization. And as per Make My Trip, flight bookings to Turkey and Azerbaijan have dropped by 60% in just a week. Cancellations have surged to 250%. Meanwhile, boycott Turkey-Azerbaijan trends on social media, with over 21,000 posts on social media platform X. Two terrorists have been neutralized in Tral, Pulwama in Jammu and Kashmir during an encounter between security forces and terrorists. PM Modi lauds armed forces for successful Operation Black Forest, eliminating 31 Maoists in Bijapur. Pakistan Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif copies Prime Minister Modi's visit to the Avantipora Air Base in Punjab. Sharif makes a visit to the Pasur cantonment in Sialkot. US President Donald Trump and his Russian counterpart Putin will not be attending the first direct peace talks between Moscow and Kyiv in 3 years. All right, we start with some breaking news that's coming in. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh is in Srinagar, where he met with the army officers at the 15 Corps headquarters. Rajnath Singh also met with troops at the Srinagar Air Base. Ajay Jandyal, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast to talk more about this. Ajay, if you can hear us, the Raksha Mantri, of course, he spoke there as well. He talked about how unsafe nuclear weapons are with Pakistan, communicating with the world that there is an urgency that is needed when it comes to dealing with Pakistan, and also showing that all the propaganda that Pakistan put up about Indian losses once again is not true.
Yes, you rightly said, because of what we have seen that Rajnath Singh, while he was visiting Jammu and Kashmir and addressing the soldiers, those who were present over, those who basically have given a befitting reply to Pakistan and the enemy over here, over there across the line of control and the international border area. They have shown the nation and the country and the world that how prepared we are to deal with any kind of situation. And when it comes to the terrorism, we are capable of targeting enemy wherever they are sitting across the fence deep inside the Pakistan as well. So that's why, when Rajnath Singh was addressing, he says that the countries, those who are setting for the nuclear weapon, they are even, we have even ignored them. But he says that international community who takes care of the nuclear weapons, they need to take a cognizance whether the nuclear weapon is safe in the hand of Pakistan or not.
Just stay with us. More breaking news coming in. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah joined Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha at Badami Bagh cantonment. The leaders interacted with the Jawans and raised slogans of Bharat Mata Ki Jai after the Defense Minister addressed the Jawans there. Ajay Jandyal, my colleague, is still with us on the broadcast. Ajay, if you're there with us?
Yes, Sudhir.
All right, Ajay, another example of solidarity as well as unity seen here. Omar Abdullah also gracing this occasion.
Please repeat your question.
Well, Omar Abdullah, as is, again joined with the Raksha Mantri to boost the morale of our soldiers.
Very truly saying, and what we have seen that from the day one, Omar Abdullah, who basically is the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, he ensured that people's morale can be boosted. Soldiers, they need to be appreciated because they are the real heroes. Those who have given befitting reply to the Pakistani terrorists and Pakistani forces, those who were targeting the civilians over there. And that's why what we have seen that he also joined hand with the Rajnath Singh when he was here, and it is a message to the community as well that the government stands with the forces and the civilians of our country.
Ajay, appreciate you joining us. Well, Ajay, stay with us. In fact, Civil Aviation Minister Mohan Naidu arrived in Srinagar to review facilities at the Srinagar airport. The minister also visited Jammu airport to review security arrangements and hold discussions in wake of changing airspace conditions and security considerations in the past week following tensions with Pakistan. After conducting the review, the minister has now stated that all flight connections to Srinagar have now been restored. Ajay Dandyal, my colleague, still with us on the broadcast. Ajay, flights have been restored, but it is still going to be a wait and watch game because Pakistan cannot be trusted.
Yes, you rightly said, because what has happened during the few days, the war-like situation over here in Jammu and Kashmir, especially when Pakistan have tried to target the defense installation, including the twin airport, where one is there in the Srinagar and another is in the Jammu. That attempt was spoiled, and drone attack, which basically Pakistan was trying to carry out, that was spoiled with the anti-drone missiles over here, anti-drone system over here. But after that, there is a need to once again strengthen the security of the airport, because it is not only a technical airport but a commercial airport as well. So that's why Aviation Minister, he arrived at Jammu and he is chairing a high-level security review meeting to ensure that how they have to strengthen the security, how they have to deal with any kind of a threat, and what is the plan of the Airport Authority of India and the people those who have been deployed over here to take care of the passengers and the airport. So that's why he's chairing a high-level meeting. He has arrived Srinagar in the morning and about to, he will reach Jammu at 4 for, chairing this meeting in Jammu as well. So this is the major things that need to be addressed over here, especially when Pakistan is continuously trying to, target the defense installations, especially the airport of Jammu as well as in the Srinagar.
All right. More breaking news coming in. The Chunar Corps of the Indian Army has now released a statement announcing that 3 hardcore terrorists have been eliminated in the Army's ongoing Operation Nadu in Avantipora in Jammu and Kashmir. The operation was launched on specific intelligence inputs, and 3 terrorists have been eliminated following massive search and cordon operations in the area. The identity of the terrorists is still being ascertained. Ajay, my colleague, still with us on the broadcast. Ajay, this is good news coming in that 3 terrorists have been eliminated, and there are multiple search and destroy operations still at play, aren't they?
Yes, but there's 2 days, 2 encounters, and 6 terrorists have been gunned down by the security forces. That shows that how successfully security forces are ensuring that they have to neutralize all the terrorists. 6 terrorists have been gunned down in 2 days, and 3 in this current encounter which was going on over there in the Pulwama. And forces, they are ensuring that every terrorist present over here in the Jammu and Kashmir, they have to be neutralized as soon as possible, because what we have seen in the past, the terrorists, those who are hiding in the different part of Jammu and Kashmir, whether they are hiding in Kashmir in the residential areas or they are hiding in the forest area, whenever they get command from across the line of control and international border from the Pakistan side, they target defense installation, they target civilians, innocent civilians, like they have done in Pahalgam. So that's why it is the responsibility of the security forces that they have to neutralize each and every single terrorist present over here in the Jammu and Kashmir. And for that first major, crackdown have been launched by the security forces. The 2 encounter took place in 2 days. 6 terrorists have been neutralized. 3 more operations are going on. One in Riyasi, one in South Kashmir, and one in Samba district of Jammu and Kashmir. So motive remains the same, that they have to ensure that terrorists has to be neutralized wherever they are hiding.
All right, Ajay, stay with us. International reactions to Operation Sindoor continue to pour in, with British political commentator and writer David Vance now backing India's strike, calling it long overdue as well as necessary move. Calling the operation successful, David Vance labelled Pakistan a failed terrorist state and asserted that it was good India moved against them. Listen in.
I think the operation was long overdue. That's the first thing. It needed to happen is the second thing. And thirdly, I think the operation has been pretty successful from as best as I can understand it. Which is not the impression that if you look at the more global media, it has been less than supportive of India, I think. But I see this, and that's what I said in that social media post that I put out. I think this was India striking a blow for civilization. Actually, it was a lot more than just the conflict with Pakistan, because, and this is something I said at the UN back in 2018, I consider Pakistan to be a failed state, a terrorist incubator, and so it was good that India moved against it.
Right. Mr. Vance, I was going to ask about you, which you have correctly mentioned. Western media seemed to have ignored India's proof of damage to Pakistani assets and rather relied on Pakistani military briefings, which were built on fake narratives and disinformation, while India's proofs were robust and clear. How do you look at Western media's outlets' hypocrisy, who even called the terrorists who attacked tourists in Pahalgam as gunmen, and also headlining false information?
Yeah, the Western media's coverage has been absolutely atrocious. It's been biased in favour of Pakistan, and it's ignored the obvious success that India had. In fact, I think that India was almost too successful.
All right, well, a senior advisor at the Centre for Strategic and International Studies, as well as chairperson of India and Emerging Asia Economics at CSI, is Richard Rosso, has backed India in wake of tensions with Pakistan. Rosso stated that India has much deeper relationships with many countries as compared to Pakistan and has made the threats emanating from Pakistan very clear to the rest of the world. Rosso also backed India as a leader of the global south. Listen to what he said.
Yeah, we have seen a steady escalation the times that India suffered terror attacks. Looking back to 2016, when India took the step on initiating a cross-border ground assault against terror camps in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, and then, of course, in 2019, where you actually had air assault on Pakistan proper, this was a different form of escalation, a large number of targets, and once the escalation began, for India to begin hitting military bases was a step in kind of a new direction as well. So I think it's an important moment when I think Pakistan understands that India is not just going to play the normal game of diplomatic measures, that the counterattacks and the separation that Pakistan always hoped for between terror camps and military, India views as a lot less different than what they did in times past. So meaningful changes, I think, in how we've seen this escalation.
All right, Michael Rubin, a former Pentagon official and senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, has taken a jibe at the United States President Donald Trump's tendency to claim credit, saying that Trump might have invented the internet and cured cancer. His remarks came in response to Trump's statement on the India-Pakistan cessation of hostilities, where Rubin pointed out that India and Indians should not take the US president claims literally. Listen in.
There are two elements to the U.S. reaction that we need to differentiate. What the United States actually did versus what President Donald Trump said. The two are not necessarily synonymous. Certainly, whenever Pakistan and India come into conflict, the United States tries to mediate behind the scenes. And this is reasonable because the United States is trying diplomatically to provide an off-ramp to prevent unrestricted warfare and also, in a worst-case scenario, prevent an escalation to any sort of nuclear exchange. So the fact that the United States would be in touch with both New Delhi and Islamabad is obvious. And the fact that both New Delhi and Islamabad would use Washington to pass messages is also obvious. Now, theoretically, both countries could also work through Moscow. But Moscow right now is busy with Ukraine. They don't have the focus. And there's also Beijing. But while Pakistan has good relations with Beijing, I mean, Pakistan is basically a colony of Beijing right now. Neither India nor the United States, for that matter, do. And therefore, Beijing cannot be a responsible mediator. So in this case, we mediated. Now, that's different from what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump likes to claim credit for everything. If you ask Donald Trump, he single-handedly won the World Cup. He invented the internet. He cured cancer. The fact of the matter is, Indians should be more like Americans in this regard and not take Donald Trump literally. The man is a braggart and a blowhard.
And John Spencer, a globally respected expert on modern warfare, has issued an unequivocal endorsement of India's Operation Sindoor, calling it a massive victory that signals a pivotal shift in the country's military doctrine. He has stated that Operation Sindoor met and exceeded its strategic aims, destroying terrorist infrastructure, demonstrating military superiority, restoring deterrence, and unveiling a new national security doctrine. This was not symbolic force, it was decisive power clearly applied. And security forces in Chhattisgarh carried out a 21-day-long anti-Naxalite operation called Operation Black Forest near Karaguttalu Hill at the Chhattisgarh-Telangana border. A CRPF personnel stated that in view of Home Minister Amit Shah's March 2026 deadline to eliminate Maoism, campaigns are being held back-to-back in the area, hailing the success of the 21-day-long operation. All right, Home Minister Amit Shah had made a pledge that Maoism and Naxalism will be rooted out of the country by 2026. And as we can see from these developments and these updates coming in, it is pretty much clear that the CRPF and other forces and agencies are hell-bent on making this aspiration come true. Gaurav, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast to give us more details. Gaurav?
वो चल रही थी। कुटुम्बुर जो पहाड़ है वो 60 किलोमीटर लंबा और 20 किलोमीटर चौड़ा पहाड़ है, जिस पर लगभग 1000 से ज्यादा जवानों ने उसे घेर कर रखा हुआ था। लगातार उसके चप्पे चप्पे की छानबीन जो है वो की जा रही थी। इतना लंबा समय क्यों लगा? आपको बता दूं कि इस पहाड़ के अंदर 250 से ज्यादा गुफाएं जो है वो नक्सलियों ने बनाकर रखे हुए थे। जहां पर वो छुपते थे वहां पर उनका राशन का सामान रखा हुआ था। उन्होंने वहां अस्पताल बना रखे हुए थे। पहाड़ के अंदर उन्होंने अस्पताल बनाया हुआ था जिस पर घायल नक्सलियों का जो इलाज है वो किया जाता था। इसके अलावा 4 से 5 ऐसे भी गुफा मिले हैं जिसके अंदर बंदूकें बनाई जाती थी, जिसके अंदर हथियार बनाए जाते थे। उसकी पूरी जो इक्विपमेंट्स हैं वो वहां पर रखे हुए थे, जिसे पूरी तरीके से हमारे जवानों ने ध्वस्त कर दिया है और भारी संख्या में वहां पर एमओरी भी जो बंदूकें हैं वो भी बरामद की गई है। इसके साथ साथ 31 नक्सलियों के जो शव है वो बरामद कर लिए गए हैं। तो ये छत्तीसगढ़ को नक्सल मुक्त बनाने के लिए एक बड़ा कदम जो है वो हमारे जवानों द्वारा उठाया गया, जहां पर लंबे समय से एक पूरे के पूरे पहाड़ को कब्जे में नक्सलियों ने रखा हुआ था, जिसे हमारे जवानों ने अब पूरी तरीके से ध्वस्त कर दिया गया है और वहां पर तिरंगा झंडा जो है वो लहराया गया है। तो ये बड़ी सफलता है जिसे लेकर केंद्रीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह के साथ साथ प्रधानमंत्री ने भी इसकी सराहना की है और इसके साथ साथ मुख्यमंत्री विष्णुदेव साय जो है आज वहां पर जाने वाले हैं और उन जवानों से मुलाकात करके उनका शौर्य बढ़ाते हुए नजर आएंगे।
चलिए, इस जानकारी के लिए आपका शुक्रिया। Well, Newsx has accessed the exclusive CCTV footage of the Dal Encounter in which 3 terrorists affiliated with Jaish-e-Mohammed have been neutralized. Alright, this is exclusive. Seeing on your television screens the encounter CCTV footage where terrorists were neutralized. If you look closely, you can see the action unfolding there. And this happened in Tral, where 3 enemies of the state have been neutralized. In fact, the pictures of them being neutralized or after they were neutralized also went viral on social media. Ajay Jandyal, my colleague, is joining us on the phone line to talk more about this. Ajay, pictures coming in of CCTV footage of the Tral encounter. The security forces and their morale is very high in making sure that all these enemies of state are neutralized.
They were carrying out this attack, this encounter in this area of Tral.
they have ensured that there is no collateral damage, there is no casualty to the civilians, and that's why they were using the highly sophisticated weapons and other gadgets, surveillance gadgets, and these gadgets can be seen that how they were monitoring the movement of the terrorists when they were spotted inside this house. This precise strike took place in which 3 terrorists have been gunned down by the security forces. So these are the visuals where one can see that these terrorists are hiding in a house, and when the security forces they have gotten off this area, and terrorists they came to know that now we are trapped. They opened fire on the security forces, which led to this encounter, and later they were neutralized.
Right. Ajay, what is the situation as of now? What is the latest update in terms of what kind of a surround and execute action the forces are taking?
Also, you see, operation is almost over, but security forces are clearing this area to ensure that there is no explosive, there is no anything lying over there on the ground, and any other terrorists, so that that should not be that could be dangerous to the civilians' life, those who reside over there, because most of the time it was observed that terrorists who hide in this area, they plant IDs, they plant bombs. So that's why this location need to be cleared first. So forces are clearing this area.
Ajay, thank you for that update. All right, well, 20 people have been injured and admitted to a hospital after a sewage tank at a factory exploded in the Kudikadu area of Tamil Nadu's Kuddalur district. Houses in the area have been damaged as water leaked out of the tank and entered the village. More details on the incident are still awaited. A sewage tank in Tamil Nadu has exploded. 20 people have been injured and rushed to a hospital. And we're going to take a break right now. We'll continue with more news and updates on the other side.